Hello and welcome to a ProQyz. In the video today we're going to look at how to create a quiz, a listening quiz using ProQyz. So I'm going to go through that in a moment. Let's first of all have a look at the product that we're trying to make. So here's one I made earlier. This is a 4-part listening test. You'll see that the audio is playable up here.
You will hear a young man phoning.
And there is a timer. And we've got a form to complete in this section. In part 2, we've got some multiple choice. Select 2 choices, and we've got a label the diagram down here with some select choices, and multiple choice, single choice I should say, a single choice down here, and multiple choice. And also a complete the information, fill in the gap. So that's what we're going to produce today. Looks very nice. It's very easy to do again. So let's jump into that. So here is my dashboard for ProQyz, and I'm going to create a new quiz, a listening quiz today. And we need to give it a title. Today's test. I'm not going to give it a description, and we'll give it some time. Let's give it 20 minutes. Add quiz. So this is the basic of the quiz today. Now here is it's a good opportunity here to look at the media part of this. This is a listening quiz, so you will have to add audio. And you can either do that from copying and paste into here, or you can upload your audio into the media file beforehand, which is probably the best way to do it. So you can upload some MP3s into here, and then you can just copy the link and you can put it back into your test. So today's test. Okay, so that's something you need to think about before creating your MP3 file. Down here we've got locate question. So this is in the transcript. So when you put in your transcript, you can use the locate the question feature. And there is also the possibility to share your quiz with other people. So let's go ahead and create that. And then we need to add some passages. So in this one, what I've done with this and with some of the other training videos we've got is I've used ChatGPT to create some brief questions. So I've got 4 parts to this. So let's go and add a passage here, and let's just call this part 1 and passage content. So here I've got my ChatGPT script. It was quite a simple script, but as with all things ChatGPT, I did have to do a little bit of messing around to make sure it made sense. So I've redone part 1 down here. You'll see I've got a script down here. So what I'm just going to do is going to copy and paste that script and put it into there. So that's my passage content. Okay, again, there is the HTML editor here, so you can make that look nice. I'm not going to do that right now because we're trying to save a bit of time. So that's my first part. Let's have a look at my second part, part 2. And let's go back to ChatGPT. So I've got part 2 up here. And my script. Oops. And add that passage, and part 3, add that passage. I've got 4 passages here just to show you some different question types. So you may not want to do a 4-part listening yourself, but here is a way to do it, and we're going to practice most of the question types through these 4 parts. Okay, so those are my 4 passages added, my 4 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and now I need to add some questions. Select passage, part 1, and add first question. Now what I've got here in my ChatGPT for my first part, I've got a table down here. So this is a fill in the gap table. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to copy this whole thing and paste it into my question. What question type do I want? I want to fill in the gap, a fill up type question. So this is where I'm going to have curly brackets to denote where my answers are going to be. So here I'm just going to copy that in. You'll see there's lots of features here for tables, so you can play around with that and make it as nice as you like it. We've got the 2 answers here. Fill in the table with the information from the conversation. So what I need to do is I need to put my results in here in curly brackets. Okay, so my answers are reference section first floor and periodical section second floor, and I've got some explanations down here as well. Not that it really needs that much. So first floor and second floor, let me put those in. So curly bracket, first floor, and curly bracket, second floor. Okay, so that's my question. I've got 2 questions in here. Explanation, I can put some explanations in here if I like. They're fairly easy explanations, so let's just copy and paste these in. So I've got 1 there and 1 here. Okay, so that's what my table is going to look like, and first floor and second floor, that's my test preview. So that all looks quite nice, so I'm just going to finish that, and we just call this table, just so I know what it is. And what type of question is it? Well, in this case it is a form completion. So we're just filling in the form completion. Okay, so you've got this drop down menu here at the end where you can choose the type of test that it is. So this is going to be useful later on if you're going to be searching for different question types. Okay, so let's just create that question. Okay, so that's the first one. Should we have a look at what that looks like? Okay, so that's the audio playing, and here I've got my test, and I can say first floor and second floor, and I can review my answers. Okay, I've got that, and I can submit, and now I've got 2 out of 2. Okay. Now you'll see the location button here is enabled, but I haven't put that in there. So what I need to do is go back and put my location. My explanation is there. See how easy this is to add fantastic information for your students. So let's delete that. Let's go back and have a look at the location data. So where do I do that? I go into my passages, and here I need to indicate where the information is. So the reference section is on the first floor, so this is where my first question is. So curly bracket square, so I've got the curly bracket which identifies the whole section, and then the square brackets identify the text and then the question number that's important. So periodical section, curly bracket, square bracket, and then close the square, open square, question 2. Okay. Now this may seem a little bit fiddly, but you soon get used to using it. It says network error there, but it should be okay. Let's go back and let's just refresh this page. And let's go back and have a look and make sure that's okay. Click here. And first floor, oh, can't spell, second floor. Okay. Okay. So here I've got my sections where I've got my location data. You can see with the orange highlight there, and I've got my location data, so it flashes. Okay, so when you've got a long transcript, this is very useful, great feedback for your students, very easy to give them this detail. Now I'm not going to do this for every question because it takes a long time, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay, so let's close this and let's go back to making our quiz again. So today's test, we've got our passages here. We've got questions for part 1. So let's have a look at questions for part 2. Now, part 2 was, let's have a look at this again. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Part 2 was matching items. So we've got match the sport to its type. We've got tennis, football, skydiving, and we've got types: individual sport, team sport, extreme sport. We've got the answers there. So what I need to do is just create this in ChatGPT, sorry, not in ChatGPT, create this in ProQyz. So in ProQyz I need to select these different items. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these in a table, and then we're going to have a selection criteria for them. So these are my inputs. So let's put that in here. What type of question is it? This is a select the answer type question. So here we can select numerical or alphabetical answers. And you see we've got a few different options. You can have Roman numerals, you can have the alphabet, or numbers, or true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given as well. So let's go with capitals, and we've got options. We've got 3 options, 1, 2, 3. So we've got A, B, and C. You can see those there. And the question is, which one is which one of these, what type of sport is this? So let's just go back to here, the types of sport. and put in here. So match the sport to its type. That's our question title. Types A, B, and C. And what I can do here is give this A, give this B, and give this C, and here we've got individual sport, team sport, extreme sport. So we've got A, B, C here. So let me just get rid of some of this formatting. Right, so what we do here, click and copy the answer and paste inside the question box where you want to display the option. So where do you want the options displayed? So I'm asking my students, match the sport to its type, tennis, football, skydiving. So here, after this, I want to give them the choice. So I'm going to put a space in here, and the answer is tennis. So I'm just going to copy A and put it there. And I'm just going to leave a space there for team sport. That's football, that's B. Copy and paste. And this one is C. Copy and paste. So those are our answers. I can delete that. Again, I'm trying to do this quickly so it doesn't take too much of your time. But you can do a lot of formatting with the editor here. Okay, so let's have a look at that first of all. So here we have match the sport to its type, tennis, football, skydiving, and I'm going to be able to choose one of those. Okay, explanation. Do I want an explanation? I've got some here, so I can copy these in. So there we go. Okay. Okay. So for completeness, we've got that there. We've got the preview. This time, if we go through this, we'll see the explanations as well, and we can finish. So this is select type. And what type of question is it? This is a matching exercise. Some people might call this a multiple choice, but there's a matching exercise, it's matching details. It doesn't really matter. This is really for you to make sure you categorize your things in the same way. Let's call that a matching and create that question. Okay, so we've got two done now. Let's have a look at part 3. Add a question. Now, what have we got for part 3? Part 3 is label the diagram. Okay, so here I've got a description that I want the students to label the diagram and the bicycle. So I've got these questions here, parts to label. This is going to be a drop-down menu again, so a select type question. So let's have a look at this. We're going to select from a list, and maybe we'll have small letters this time, and we've got the question here. Label the diagram with the parts mentioned, parts to label. So now we're going to have A, B, or C, and we've got 3 options, A, B, or C here, and we need the picture in here as well. So this was an interesting exercise with ChatGPT, trying to get it to make a picture which was suitable. I went through a few different types, but let's try this one. Let's copy that image. ChatGPT is great, but as you all know, it does need some finessing sometimes. So let's download that. That's in the wrong format for me to put in here, so I'll have to change that round a bit later. Let's just put that in for the time being. Okay, so here we've got the parts to label, and with our diagram we could have A, B and C on there, and again we can put our answers here. So copy. So I need to make sure I've got A, B and C on my diagram as well, so the students are able to label it. But you'll see this is how it works. Okay, so we do have some explanations. Where do we go? Back to here. Okay, so we've got the explanations up here. And here. Okay, so we will put our picture in here. We need to change it into a JPEG and put our picture in here, and then we've got our choice down here. Where is that? So we'll have A, B, C on the bike. And finish. This is labeling a diagram. And I can put that up there, label, and create that question. Okay. Right, so that's got quite a few of those question types out the way. We've basically just got two more question types to have a look at. They are multiple choice and single choice. So let's have a look at part 4. And in part 4, I've got a question here, multiple choice. So here we've got A, B, C answers. Let's copy all of these in one go. So I've got the information there. I'm going to make up a multiple choice. So when there's only one answer, we actually use a radio button. Okay, so a radio button for single answer questions. Multiple choice, single choice, different people call them different things. But so this is a single answer question with a radio button. Okay, so we've got select the best answer, and we've got 3 options. I've got my question there, and I'm just going to put these on here. So I'll just make sure I take off the A, B's and C's. So I've just got my question 1 with answers. Okay, so what is one of the most popular forms of renewable energy? And add more questions. I've got my other question here, which is about characteristics of wind energy. So let's just get rid of the answers and put them in the right place. Add 2 more options. Clean this up a little bit. Okay, so those are my questions. And here I've got my answers and my explanations. So let's have a look at those. So I've got solar energy and generated by wind turbines. So I've got B and B. And I've got my explanations here as well. So let me copy those. So let me just select my B and my B. With my questions done, my instructions for my questions done, my explanations for my 2 questions. Okay. And my preview. So here we've got radio buttons, 1, 2, 3. Solution preview, and finish. So here we have a multiple choice. We categorize this as single choice and multiple choice together. Okay, so this is actually a single choice. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a multiple choice question, a multiple answer question I should say, just to show you what that is. So here we've got a checkbox question, and what I'm going to do is select all that you hear, and I'm going to put in here solar, add more options, solar, wind, gas, coal, nuclear. So here you can select a number, select all the energy types that you hear. So we had solar, wind, and nuclear, I think. Explanations. So we can add explanations if we want to. I'm not going to do that this time. We can preview. That's what it's going to look like, and finish. So here we've got, this again is a multiple choice. You could have it as a matching question as well. You're matching what you hear with what you write down, the information, but multiple choice as well. Oh. So we've got multiple choice here. Okay, so that's basically it. So we've got today's test. Let's have a look at that. Now, there's a little bit of messing around with that, but it didn't take me too long to create a very nice looking test. So we've got a table to fill in with a fill in the gap. We've got some drop-down menus. We've got a label the diagram. My diagram isn't there yet, but we've also got some single choice and some multiple choice. All of the question numbers are done for us. This includes all of the note and highlighting features and functions, and the location and explanations as well for all of those questions that we created. So I hope that is clear enough. ProQyz does allow you to create these very, very nice looking quizzes which students enjoy with lots of that feedback. So go ahead and try and create some listening tests for your students. So have a go at that, and I will see you in the next video.